Hello students, in our last video we were discussing about the factorization of polynomials and we have discussed various methods of factorization of a polynomial and we were discussing about the factorization by splitting the middle term. Okay, so we will proceed with that method also, factorization by splitting the middle term, and we will start with the splitting of middle term when there is a square root in a given polynomial. Okay, so let us take an example. We have already discussed the method how will you factorize by splitting the middle term. So today I am starting with the square root term in a quadratic expression. Okay, and that we have to factorize by splitting the middle term. So let us take a question. The question is x square minus x square plus 3 root 3x plus 6. Okay, this is now question and we have to factorize this term by splitting the middle term. So as we have already discussed, for splitting the middle term, what we have to do, first we take the coefficient of x square. Here the coefficient of x square is 1. So we multiply the coefficient of x square with constant term and the constant term is 6. So first we will multiply 1 into 6, that will be equal to 6. Okay, now second step, what we have to do, we have to obtain such two numbers whose multiplication is equal to 6 and we see the sign of constant term, the sign is positive. It means we have to get those two numbers whose multiplication is 6 and whose addition is equal to 3 root 3. Clear? We have to get two such numbers whose multiplication should be equal to 6 and whose addition should be equal to 3 root 3 because the sign is positive. So first let us factorize this multiplication 6. So what are the factors? 2 3s are 6 and 3 1s are 3. It means we can write 6 is equal to 2 into 3. Okay, but now in the expression, in the quadratic expression, here it is square root of 3. So we have to break these factors in such a way that there is a square root term also. So it is a square root of 3. It means we can convert 3 into terms of square root, or we can write 3 is equal to root 3 into root 3. Clear? Because there is a square root of 3, so we have converted this 3 into their square roots. So the square root of 3 into square root of 3, that will be equal to 3. So we have written 3 is equal to root 3 into root 3. Okay. Now what are the factors? Factors are 2 into root 3 into root 3. Now if we consider these two factors together and let root 3 be a separate term, then what will happen? We can write it as 2 root 3 into root 3, that is equal to 6. And what will be the addition of these two terms? If we add 2 root 3 plus root 3, it will be equal to 3 root 3. Clear? So we get the two numbers. What are those two numbers? These are the two numbers, 2 root 3 and root 3. Their multiplication is equal to 6 and their addition is equal to 3 root 3. So at the place of 3 root 3, what we can put? We can put 2 root 3 plus root 3. This particular expression we can put at the place of 3 root 3. Okay, so put this value, we will get x square plus, at the place of 3 root 3 we will put 2 root 3 plus root 3. It will be 2 root 3 plus root 3 into x plus 6. Now multiplying x inside the bracket, it will be x square plus 2 root 3x plus root 3x plus 6. Now what will be the common terms? If we group these two terms together and these two terms together, so from these two terms x is common, we can take x as common, so it will be x plus 2 root 3. What will happen in the second term? Now here it is also a square root, then again we will convert 6 in terms of square root. So 6 can be converted as 2 root 3 into root 3. So first convert these 6. So we will get root 3x plus 2 root 3 into root 3. Now from this expression we can take root 3 as common, because root 3 is in this term also and the second term also. So if we take the first term is already x plus root 3, and if we take root 3 common from these two terms, then what will be the remaining? It will be x plus 2 root 3. Now from the whole of the expression, x plus 2 root 3 is common. So we will take x plus 2 root 3 as common, and the remaining term will be x plus root 3. And this is our answer. These are two factors of the given polynomial. Okay. So whenever there is a square root term in a quadratic expression, in a quadratic polynomial, and we have to factorize. So first step is same. We will multiply the coefficient of x square with a constant term, that is 1 into 6 will be equal to 6. Then factorize that particular number which is obtained by multiplying both these terms. So we factorize 6. The factors of 6 are 2 into 3. But in the expression there is a square root of 3. So we have converted this 3 in terms of root 3 into root 3. Okay. And what is the method? The sum of two numbers should be equal to 3 root 3, and the multiplication of two numbers should be equal to 6. So the multiplication of, if we have considered these two numbers, 2 root 3 into root 3, their multiplication is 6, and the sum of 2 root 3 plus root 3 is 3 root 3. So at the place of 3 root 3, we have put it 2 root 3 plus root 3 and solve it further, and we will get the factors. Okay, so note it down. Coming to the second question. Now we have given 4 root 3 x square plus 5x minus 2 root 3. Okay, now we have to factorize this quadratic expression. So first step, we will multiply the coefficient of x square, that is 4 root 3, with the constant term which is 2 root 3. So when we will multiply these two terms, what we will get? 4 root 3 into 2 root 3. It will be equal to 4 to the 8, and root 3 into root 3 will be equal to 3. That means 8 into 3, which will be equal to 24. So the product of coefficient of x square and the constant term is 24. Now what we have to do in the second step? We have to get such two numbers whose multiplication should be equal to 24 and whose subtraction, because here is sign is negative, we see the sign of constant term, and the sign of constant term is minus. It means we have to obtain those two numbers whose subtraction should be equal to 5 and whose multiplication should be equal to 24. So how can we get those two numbers? Now we know the factors of 24. First find the factors of 24. So it will be 2, 12, 2, 6, 2, 3 and 3, 1. It means we can write 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 is equal to 24. Now we have to select such two numbers whose multiplication is 24 but whose subtraction should be equal to 5. So if we consider 2 to the 4 and 3 to the 6, 6 4s are 24, but 6 minus 4 is not 5. So let us consider another pair, 2 to the 4 to the 8, 8 3s are 24, and if we subtract 8 minus 3, that will be equal to 5. It means what the two numbers we will take? We will take 8 into 3 is equal to 24, and 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. Because the sign is negative, it means the subtraction of those two numbers should be equal to the middle term, that is 5. Clear? So now at the place of 5, what can we put? We can put 8 minus 3. So the expression would be 4 root 3 x square plus, at the place of 5, it is 8 minus 3 into x minus 2 root 3. Now multiplying this x inside the bracket, we will get 4 root 3 x square plus 8x minus 3x minus 2 root 3. Okay. Now we have to take the common terms. How will you take common now? So if we group these two terms together and these two terms together. So from these two terms, what is common? 4 is common because here it is 8, it is 4. So we can take 4 as common. X is also common in both the term. It means we can take 4x as common. So what will be the remaining term? It will be root 3x plus 2. Okay. Now what will happen in the second term? In the second term, in the second expression, here it is root 3x in the bracket. So we have to get the same term in the second bracket also. So for that, here it is root 3. And in these two expressions, nothing is looking common. But if we convert this 3 in terms of root 3, we can write root 3 into root 3x. Because here it is root 3, so we have converted this 3 also in terms of root 3. So it can be written as root 3 into x minus 2 root 3. Now from these two terms we can take common. What is common now? Root 3 is common from both of the expression. So we can take common. We will get 4x. In the first bracket it is root 3x plus 2 minus. If we take minus root 3 as common, then the remaining term is root 3x, and then when we have taken minus sign common, then it will be plus 2. Now we can see these two terms are again common. So root 3x plus 2 is common, and the second bracket will be 4x minus root 3. And these two are the factors now. And it is our answer. Okay. So whenever there is a square root term, you have to convert the term in such a way that there is a common by taking square root, or by converting the term, like here we have converted this 3 in terms of root 3 into root 3. So all these things you have to do yourself. It will depend on your practice. The more you will practice, the more you will be able to solve such type of problems. Okay, so note it down. Let us solve one more question, and after that we'll proceed with the next method. Question is x square plus 5 root 5x plus 10. X square plus 5 root 5x plus, it is not 10, it is 30. X square plus 5 root 5x plus 30. Now we have to factorize this term, this expression. So the first step is multiply the coefficient of x square, that is 1, and the constant term, which is 30. So we will get 1 into 30, that will be equal to 30. 1 into 30 is 30. Now we have to convert. We have to obtain such two numbers whose multiplication should be equal to 30. But the sign is positive. It means the sum of two numbers should be equal to 5 root 5. And the multiplication of those two numbers should be equal to 30. So the first step which we use, we have to factorize this 30. So by factorizing 30, we will get 2, 15, then 3, 5. and 5 and 1. It means we can write 2 into 3 into 5 is equal to 30. Okay, so these three are the factors. 2 into 3 into 5 equals to 30. Now we have to obtain only two numbers whose multiplication should be equal to 30, but whose summation, whose addition should be equal to 5 root 5. So in the previous question also we have discussed that there is a square root of 5. It means we have to convert this 5 in terms of square root. If there was root 3, then we will convert 3 in terms of square root of 3. If there is a square root of 2, then we will convert this 2 in terms of their square root. So it will depend on the term which is given. Okay, so here it is root 5. So we will convert this 5 in terms of their square root. So we can write it as 2 into 3 into root 5 into root 5 is equal to 30. Now these are four numbers, but we have to obtain only two numbers. So what can be those two numbers whose multiplication is 30 and whose addition is 5 root 5? So if we write it as 2 into root 5, that is 2 root 5 into 3 root 5, it will be equal to 30. 2 root 5 into 3 root 5, it will be equal to 30. And what will be the sum of these two numbers? 2 root 5 plus 3 root 5, it will be equal to 5 root 5. Okay, so we got the numbers. We can convert 5 root 5 in terms of 2 root 5 plus 3 root 5. So at the place of 5 root 5, we will write 2 root 5 plus 3 root 5. So it can be written as x square plus 2 root 5 plus 3 root 5 into x plus 30. Now multiplying this x inside the bracket, we will get x square plus 2 root 5x plus 3 root 5x plus it is 30. But we have to take something common. It is 3 root 5x plus now this 30. Because here it is root 5. So we have to write this 30 also in terms of root 5. And what can we write 30? We can write at the place of 30, it is 2 root 5 into 3 root 5. At the place of 30, we have written 2 root 5 into 3 root 5 so that it may be easier to take common. Okay. Now, if we group these two terms and these two terms. So from these two terms, what is common? Here x is common. So if we take x common, then the remaining will be x plus 2 root 5. Clear? Now from the second bracket, second group, what can be the common? Here it is 3 root 5. It is also 3 root 5. So we can take 3 root 5 as common. So the remaining will be x plus 2 root 5. Now this x plus 2 root 5 and x plus 2 root 5 is common. So we can take it as common. So it will be x plus 2 root 5 in the first bracket and x plus 3 root 5 in the second bracket. That will be our answer. Okay. So in this way, you can solve the problems based on splitting the middle term when there is a square root term at the middle term, or the square root term may be the coefficient of x square or the constant term. All the types of questions we have discussed. So you have to solve such type of problems. These are very important for the examination point of view also. So note it down. Now coming to the next question. Question is, two into x plus y whole square minus 9 into x plus y minus 5. Now we have to factorize this term, this expression. Okay. So in general, if we see this expression, there are two variables, x and y. But if we see these two variables, so we will say that it is not a quadratic polynomial because there are two variables. But if we consider this x plus y as another variable, how will you solve such type of problem? We will consider, let x plus y is equal to, let us consider another variable a. Let x plus y is equal to a. Then what will be the equation? The equation will be converted as 2a square. At the place of x plus y, we have put it a. So it is 2a square minus 9a minus 5. Clear? So whenever you have given such type of expression where there are two variables, we will consider those two variables as another variable a, or anything we can consider. So it is 2a square minus 9a minus 5. Now this is a quadratic expression. This is a quadratic polynomial, and we can solve this quadratic polynomial by splitting the middle term method also. So if we check, by splitting the middle term, the coefficient of a square is 2 and the constant term is 5. If we multiply these two terms, what we will get? We will get 2 into 5, which will be equal to 10. And the sign is negative, minus sign. It means we have to obtain such two numbers whose multiplication is 10 and whose subtraction is 9. So what can be those two numbers? If we factorize this 10, then it can be written as 2, 5, 5, 1 and 1. It means we can write 10 as 2 into 5 into 1 is equal to 10, because 1 is a factor of all the numbers. So there are three numbers, 2, 5 and 1, whose product is 10. Now we have to select two numbers whose multiplication is 10 and whose subtraction should be equal to 9. So what can be those two numbers? If we take 2 into 5, that will be 10. But the subtraction of 5 and 2 is 3. That will not be correct. If we consider 5 into 10, that is 10 into 1, which is equal to 10. And if we subtract 1 from 10, it will be equal to 9. It means this 9 can be splitted as 10 minus 1, because the product of 10 and 1 is 10 and 10 minus 1 is also 9. So we get the splitting. We can write it as 2a square minus, at the place of 9 we will write 10 minus 1 into a minus 5. Now multiplying this a inside the bracket, we will get 2a square minus 10a plus a minus 5. Now grouping these two terms and these two terms, from these two terms what is common? A is common and 2 is also common. So we will take 2a as common. We will get a minus 5. Now from these two expressions, what is common? There is nothing common. So when there is nothing is common, we will take 1 as a common. So will be 1 as common. We will get a minus 5. Now taking a minus 5 again common, a minus 5 common, we will get 2a plus 1. So the given quadratic expression, this expression is factorized in terms of a minus 5 and 2a plus 1. But the given expression in the question was in terms of x plus y. So we cannot write this as an answer. We have to put the value of a again in this expression. Then we will get the correct answer. If you leave the question at this point, then half of the marks will be deducted. So you have to put the value of a in the given expression which you have solved. So what is the value of a? It is x plus 5. So when we put the value of a in this expression, so we will get at the place of a, it is x plus y minus 5. So the first bracket is x plus y minus 5 and the second bracket will be 2a. That will be 2x plus y plus 1. Plus 1. Now this is our answer. X plus y minus 5 and 2x plus 2y plus 1. This will be our answer. Okay. So all these questions were based on the factorization by splitting the middle term. Okay, now there are some more types of question. Till now the questions we have discussed, all these questions were based on linear or quadratic polynomials. We will start with the cubic polynomials or the cubic expression from the next video. So before that we have to solve some more type of questions. The next question is, it is a word problem. The question is, give all the possible expression. Give possible expression. Give possible expression for length and width. For length and width of a rectangle. For length and width of a rectangle having 35y square plus 13y, 35y square plus 13y minus 12 as its area. Okay, so now it is a word problem on factorization. Sometimes you will be given area, sometimes you will be given volume. Okay, now how will you solve such type of questions? What is the concept behind such type of question? Here it is given rectangle, and you know what is the area of rectangle? Area of rectangle is equal to length into width. If you talk about in terms of number, if you talk about area in terms of number, suppose the area of rectangle is 24, then what can be the possible expression for length and width? This possible expression may be, if we factorize this 24, we will get 2, 12, 2, 6, 3, 2, 3 and 3, 1. So what can be the possible expression? The length may be 2 and this whole term can be width, or the length can be 4, width can be 6, or the length can be 8, width can be 3. Okay, it means whatever area is given, the factors of that area, all the combinations of the factors will give us the length and width of that particular rectangle. Clear? If we have given the area of a rectangle in terms of number, then the combination of their factors may give us the length and width. For example, if 2 is length, then 12 will be the width. If 3 is length, then 8 will be width. If 4 is length, then 6 will be width. Okay, like so on. So in case of number, we can find the length and width of a rectangle if area is given. By finding the factors of the area, we can find the length and width. Similarly, in case of algebraic expression, we have given an area of algebraic area in terms of expression, quadratic expression. Now if we factorize this area, then the two factors which we will obtain, those two factors may be length and width. Any one can be length and any one can be width. Clear? There will be two factors because the degree is 2. So now we will proceed by finding the factors. So the basic concept is, if we have to find from the area, if area is given and we have to find two dimensions, that is length and width, then we will find two factors. If volume is given, then also we will find the factors, but there will be three factors in case of volume, and those three factors may be length, width and height. Anyone can be length, anyone can be width and anyone can be height. So let us start. So area is given. Area is equal to 35y square plus 13y minus 12. So first we will factorize this particular area. So how will you factorize this area? The method is simple. We have to split the middle term, but now the numbers are bigger. There is 12 and 35. So first we will multiply these two numbers. So we will get 35 into 12, that will be equal to 420. 420. Now the sign is minus, negative sign. It means we have to obtain two such numbers whose multiplication is 420 and whose subtraction should be equal to 13. So first we will factorize this 420. Factorize this 420. So we will get 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, 0. Then it will be 2 1s are 2, 105. Then 3, 3 3s are 9, 3 5s are 15. Then 5, 7 and 7, 1. It means we can write 2 into 2 into 3 into 5 into 7 into 1 is equal to 420. Okay, these are the factors of 420. We can express it in this way. Now from this particular terms, we have to select two numbers in such a way whose product is 420 but whose subtraction, because the sign is minus, whose subtraction should be 13. So what can be those two numbers? Check from these numbers. What can be those two numbers? What can be those two numbers? If we are taking 2 2s are 4, 3s are 12 and 7 5s are 35, then 35 into 12 is 42, 420. But 35 minus 12 will not be equal to 13. It means we cannot take this combination. Means these three numbers, 2 2s are 4, 3s are 12 and 35 cannot be the combination. So what can be the combination? This combination you have to check yourself. You have to apply your mind in finding those combination. So we will get the combination if we take what can be the combination? The combination may be 2 2s are 4, 7s are 28. If we take 28 into 5 3s are 15, then 28 into 15 is 420. And what is 28 minus 15? It will be 13. 28 minus 15 will be equal to 13. So we get that combination. 28 into 15 is 420 and 28 minus 15 is 13. So at the place of 13, what can we put? We can put it as 35y square plus 28 minus 15 y minus 12. Now multiplying this y inside, we will get 35y square plus 28y minus 15y minus 12. Now grouping the terms, if we make the group of these two terms and group of these two terms. So from these two terms, what can be the common? Y is common. Another number, so 7 may be common. So if we take 7y as common, we will get 5y plus 4. And from these two terms, what can be the common? Minus sign is common. So minus is taken as common. Now next, what can be common? The factor of 12 and 15 is 3, the common factor. So we can take 3 as common. It will be 5y and plus 4. Now taking 5y plus 4 as common, 5y plus 4 common, the second term will be 7y minus 3. Now these are the two factors of this particular area. Okay. So first note it down. Now the question was that we have to find all the possible, give possible expression for length and width. So area can be written as 5y plus 4. This was the area and this area is factorized in these two terms. So we can write it as 5y plus 4 and 7y minus 3. These are the two expression of area. Two terms whose multiplication is equal to area. Now, from these two terms, length can be, we can take 5y plus 4 as length. If 5y plus 4 is length, then breadth will be equal to 7y minus 3. Or the other term can be, this can be breadth. So, if we consider length as 7y minus 3, then what will be the breadth? Breadth will be 5y plus 4. So these are the possible expression. Either it will be length, then it will be breadth, or it will be breadth, then it will be length. So it will depend on the condition. Okay, so we have given the area, and from this particular area we have find out the length and width of this particular rectangle. Clear? So it is our answer. You have to give all the possible expression. You have to give this answer also and this answer also, because you have asked in the question give possible expression. So the possible expression means either it can be length or it can be length. If it is length, then it will be breadth. If it is breadth, then it will be length. So you have to tell all the possible expression. So today we have discussed the factorization by splitting the middle term of the square root term and finding out the area and volume from a given expression. Okay, if we have given volume and area, we have to find the length and width. If it is given volume, then there will be three factors. Okay, there is one more question. You will solve it yourself. Whenever you have given the volume, then also you have to factorize that volume, and you will get three possible expression of length, width and height. Okay, so we have solved the problems of quadratic polynomial and linear polynomial, the factorization problems based on quadratic and linear terms. From the next video, we will discuss the factorization of cubic polynomials. Okay, so you have to solve these type of problems and practice it.